Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. We welcome you to the 2016 Commencement. I'd like to add my own reminder to take a moment and turn the sound off on your cell phones, or you actually may even want to turn them off. Members of the Commencement Chorale will now sing for us our call to celebration, Song of the Future.
Sail fast, sail fast, sail fast. Ark of my hopes, ark of my dreams, sweep lordly o'er the drowned fly, through the sun's strange beams. Sail fast, sail fast, sail fast, sail fast, sail fast, sail fast, sail fast. Press of new buds from off some drying lea, with news about the future sent the sea. My brain is beating like the heart of haste. I'll loose me a bird upon this present waste. Go, go, trembling song, and stay not long, or stay not long. Thou art only a grey and sober dove, only a grey and sober dove. But thine eye is faith, and thy wing is love. Thine eye is faith, and thy wing is love. Thine eye is faith, thy wing is love.
Well, good morning again, everyone. What a glorious, glorious day we have. Today we are celebrating the accomplishments of the graduating class of 2016. As we all know, these graduates did not get here on their own. Behind each and every one of them, behind each and every one of you, stands your family, your friends, mentors, and most of them are here today. So I'm going to ask the graduates to please rise and turn toward your guests and give them a rousing ovation for the help and the guidance they provided you. Thank you. I'd like to add a few other thank yous before we get going. One of our longest serving faculty members, Dr. Linda Taylor, will be retiring this year. She has served the university and its students with tremendous distinction for over 40 years. She arrived on campus in 1975 and has been a treasured member of our faculty. Please join me in expressing our deep appreciation to Linda. We have two trustees I want to recognize today and thank for their many years of service and dedication to Oglethorpe. Trustee Yeti Arp, a graduate of the class of 1968, joined the board in 1996 and has served in that capacity for 20 years. Yeti will be moving to the status of trustee emeritus. Thank you, Yeti, for your guidance, your support, and your friendship. And Trustee Fred Agel has moved to emeritus status just this past year. A graduate of the class of 1952, Fred's been an active part of the Oglethorpe family for nearly 65 years. And thank you, Fred, for your steadfast support and friendship through so much history together. So please join me in thanking Yeti and Fred. I also want to welcome Eric Krug, sitting here on my left, Eric's mom, Joyce, and a host of Eric's friends and family. Eric, you began your education at Oglethorpe in the fall of 1994, and today you will graduate, and we are honored by your presence. I also want to acknowledge our board chair, Suri Eberly, who is presiding over today's commencement. Suri serves as the Chief People Officer for the Coca-Cola Company, and we are fortunate to have her here today. Thank you, Suri. And finally, a big thank you, as always, to our Chancellor, Dr. Manning Patillo. Always wonderful to have you with us, Manning. Thank you. It's hard to miss that we are in the midst of a tumultuous political season. Graduates, I encourage and indeed expect each and every one of you who has the right to vote to express that right this coming November. That's our collective minimal obligation as citizens. But I also want to encourage each of you to do everything you can throughout your entire life to ensure that every citizen of this country retains the right to vote and has unfettered access to that right. The world is a complicated place, and I know that your Oglethorpe education, the coursework you've completed, your work in internships and service, study abroad, and research have all helped you appreciate that complexity. And complex problems require sophisticated solutions. Solutions that stand any chance of working in today's world require a citizenry that is prepared to engage in civil and honest discourse. And I hope that your Oglethorpe education has reinforced that idea, that the challenges of our nation, that the challenges of the world will be better met if they are grounded on a foundation of mutual respect among co-equal citizens. While the current collapse of public discourse is not unique in our country's history, it does eat away at the core of our democracy. And our increasing inability to have simple conversations and debate supported by verified facts is, in a word, frightening. And that is why places like Oglethorpe, where we continue to have these conversations and debates, these difficult conversations and debates, are so immensely important, maybe even more important today than ever. Civilized society is fragile and demands constant attention. Our honorary degree recipient today and speaker, Derek Kayango, the CEO of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, knows this all too well, and he leads an institution that is dedicated to reminding us of our collective history. And that history suggests that all of us are inclined to affiliate with our own kind against others, against the other. That's been true across the globe and also, unfortunately, true in our own country. I think our Oglethorpe community works hard to fight against that impulse, the impulse to divide, and I believe we do better than most, but we also know those impulses are here as well. So graduates, as you continue your way in the world, please remember that the values that Oglethorpe holds dear, that we challenge ourselves to live by each and every day, are those values that will, in the end, sustain us all. Let us proceed with our ceremony of commencement. Let me call to the podium our chair of the board, Suri Eberly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, that was weak. Come on, are you awake? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let me first start by congratulating each one of the class of 2016 for this significant milestone and this accomplishment. So for that, you deserve a huge round of applause. As chair of the Board of Trustees, it's both an honor and a privilege to be here today, and I'd like to ask our Board of Trustees to stand to be recognized wherever you are. Board of Trustees. Thank you again for your service. I'm a very proud adopted stormy petrel. My alma mater was the University of Tennessee, where I grew up. And on a day many years ago, I'm not going to tell you how many, I was standing exactly where you were with about 10,000 graduates who graduated on that day along with me. I had my parents, and actually my mom is over here. Mom, raise your hand. She's here with me. And my grandmother was with me as well. And we had a wonderful experience. Can you imagine trying to graduate with 10,000 of your fellow graduates in one day? We also had a wonderful reception at the president's house, to which my grandmother spent quite a bit of time watching, looking around. And after 2 days of celebration, I thought she would have something very impressive and important to say to me. So I said, Grandma, what did you think about this graduation ceremony, the president's house? What did you think? She paused and she looked at me stoically and said, the cashews were stale. That's the only thing she ever remembered or even talked about the entire time we were there. The cashews were stale. So Larry, hopefully you don't have any at your house. On a more serious note, it's really a great day to be proud of this accomplishment. Do you know that you have achieved something really unique? A recent study by Georgetown University Center on Education tells us today that only 40% of working age adults aged 25 to 64 have a 2-year degree. Let me repeat that again. 40% of working age adults 25 to 64 have a 2-year degree. So the fact that you actually have a 4-year degree or beyond distinguishes you. It also has proven that education is the single most powerful engine of progress and upward mobility. And the study indicates that college graduates earn about $1 million more in their lifetime than adults without the degree. And today, each one of you have accomplished something truly amazing. And for that, you should be extremely proud and grateful. So my journey has been very similar to many of yours. I'm a small town girl from Tennessee. I wanted a liberal arts education, and that was a really big goal, being one of many children, and not all of us had the opportunity to go to college. I am forever grateful for my liberal arts education, and it has actually served me very well in my personal and my professional career, with over 26 years at the Coca-Cola Company as Senior Vice President and Chief People Officer, residing over 125,000 employees in 207 countries. When I came to Oglethorpe about 6 years ago, I heard the phrase, and you probably told me this, if you can survive CORE, you can survive anything. Remember that? If you can survive CORE, you can survive anything. You are well prepared for the world ahead of you. I absolutely love this university and what it stands for. The motto, make a life, make a living, make a difference. You have been so fortunate to be part of a university that truly cares about its students and cares to make that difference. I want to remind all of us about one very distinguished alumni by the name of Sidney Lanier. Some of you might recall him. He captured the essence of Oglethorpe way back in the day of 1860. He graduated first in his class. He called Oglethorpe the university with heart. That was true then back in 1860, but it's even more true today. Sidney Lanier went on to fight in the Civil War, displaying great acts of bravery, which actually led to his capture, and he was kept as a prisoner of war through the duration of the Civil War. He actually survived, and he led a life of great distinction as a renowned writer of literature, poetry, and even serving on the faculty of Johns Hopkins University. Sidney was a shining example of make a life, make a living, and make a difference. There are countless others as well who embody this motto, which fits each of you. Your call to action now as you go out into the world, a few pointers. Dare to live your dreams. You actually only have one life, and don't let anyone ever tell you there's something that you cannot do. Dare to dream. Remember, at the end of the day, people matter, and your words and your actions matter, and not just what you do, but how you actually treat others. And Mom, you would remember this. Dad always said, no one can ever take away your character and your integrity. No one can ever take away your character and your integrity. So hold on to your values and hold on to them very tightly. Don't forget to love this university. It has nurtured you for many years, so please give back as you go back out into the world. And from a selfish standpoint, representing a very large employer, you represent, all of you, the next generations of our leaders who are going to rule society, business, government, and we're counting on you, and we're going to depend on you to lead the way forward. We are also very proud of you and honor each of you this day for a most amazing accomplishment. A sincere congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Sari, for being part of our celebration, and thank you and all the trustees for what you do for the university. It's my pleasure to begin the presentation of two special awards made at commencement to graduating seniors. I call on Dr. Lynn Giger to come forward to present the Sally Hull Weltner Award for Scholarship.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw. I'm pleased to extend a warm welcome to our visitors and guests today as we gather to honor the achievements of our graduates, the class of 2016. The Sally Hull Weltner Award is given annually in loving memory of Sally Hull Weltner, wife of Dr. Philip Weltner, who was president of Oglethorpe University from 1944 to 1953. The award honors the student in the graduating class who has attained the highest level of scholastic achievement at Oglethorpe with the greatest number of hours in coursework completed at Oglethorpe. I am pleased to present the Sally Hull Weltner Award to Aisha Branson.
Congratulations, Aisha, on your extraordinary achievement. Dr. Sharfin, would you come forward to present the James Edward Oglethorpe Awards?
The James Edward Oglethorpe Awards are presented to the two students in the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty, realize most fully the aims of an Oglethorpe education in terms of scholarship, leadership, and character. I am pleased to present this year's James Edward Oglethorpe Award to Monica Cota and Ty Murphy. While Monica's coming up here and receiving her award, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about these two individuals. I can only do a little bit because we need to be out of here by noon, but let me read some of their accomplishments. Monica is a biology major with minors in English and urban ecology, graduated magna cum laude. She worked as a tutor, a supplemental instructor, an intern at the zoo, a specialist at the Chattahoochee Nature Center, a PATH volunteer right on campus, 4 alternative break trips, vice president of the student organization Coexist, Alpha Phi Omega vice president, senior senator, president of the Residence Hall Association, and published 2 articles in the Journal for Undergraduate Research. Scholar, leadership, character. Ty Murphy, also a biology major with minors in chemistry and politics, Fred Agel Scholar, tutor, medical volunteer in the United States and abroad, both at Grady Hospital and the emergency department, and as a construction worker in Honduras. Student government president, Omicron Delta Kappa president, co-founder of the varsity debate team, completion of an honors thesis on the role of serotonin in ketamine-induced hypothermia, and presented 2 papers at the American Society for Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics, both in 2015 and 2016. Scholar, leadership, character. These are students who are graduating with both conviction and ability. Please, once again, give me a round of applause for Ty and Monica.
two extraordinary young people. Congratulations to Monica and to Ty. We recognize at commencement the outstanding work of two of our faculty members each year. These awards are selected by a committee of students, previous faculty award winners, and alumni members. Dr. Giger, last year's recipient of the Lou Thomas and Garrett Award for Meritorious Teaching, will present this year's winner.
Good morning again. The Lou Thomas and Garrett Award for Meritorious Teaching is awarded to the faculty member that has been judged to evidence a high level of competence in their teaching, show an interest in the academic and personal welfare of students, and inspire students to excel in their academics and learning in general. The faculty member who has been chosen to receive the award this year exceeds expectations in all of these categories. Many of the graduates here today may have had the good fortune to have this professor for one or both of their first-year narratives courses. Students in these courses describe this professor as an excellent blending of personable and professional, highly entertaining and intellectually nourishing, and my favorite professor this semester and possibly my favorite teacher ever. In the words of one student, I can honestly tell that this professor cares about my well-being, my happiness at Oglethorpe, and my future. Or perhaps some of you had this professor for one of the courses in your major. Some of the words those students use to describe this professor are affable, genuine, thoughtful, jovial, and engaging. One student who was perhaps still undecided about their major commented, "I thought this subject would bore me, but it actually is one of my favorite classes that I've taken at Oglethorpe." One can reasonably guess that this student changed their major to English soon thereafter. In conclusion, a student probably sitting here today noted as a freshman that this professor is going to be an Oglethorpe institution. To that student, I can assure you, he already is. This year, I am happy to present the Lou Thomas and Garrett Award for Meritorious Teaching to Dr. Bob Hornback.
I now call on the previous recipient of the Vulcan Materials Teaching Excellence and Leadership Award, Dr. Irwin Ray, to present this year's award.
The Vulcan Materials Teaching Excellence and Leadership Award began in 1992 and comes with a $2,000 check from Vulcan through the Georgia Foundation for Independent Colleges and Oglethorpe University. It is considered one of the highest honors for a faculty member. It's my privilege to present this year's award. Today's recipient brings the broadest of interest along with high levels of scholarship to our campus. His extensive involvement in campus life makes him ubiquitous. You see him everywhere on all days of the calendar and at all times of the day. For 28 years, his presence has been a daily gift to each of us. Holding the Doctor of Philosophy degree from Yale University, our recipient has been both a Woodrow Wilson Fellow and a Fulbright Fellow. He's held the Manning M. Patillo Professorship in the Liberal Arts here at Oglethorpe, and actually won this same award, which we present him today, back in 1994. Just reading a list of his publications, scholarly presentations, extensive research, and international honors would add another 45 minutes to today's ceremony. So obviously I'm not going to do that. Indeed, though, his love of learning is superseded only, I think, by his love for his students. Ultimately, a professor's true value may well be found in the affect the teacher has on the students. Listen to a few of their comments. Committed and compassionate are two words that come to mind regarding his work. The comments this instructor writes on my papers are the most constructive, thorough, and helpful I have ever received. Narratives of the Self has been one of the most rewarding and thought-provoking classes I have taken. He has opened my mind and thought to many different views. I learned so much. I love his class. It was spectacular. Our recipient is not with us today because he is characteristically attending a professional conference in his discipline. Consequently, we will present the award to him during a separate ceremony on Monday. But please join me now in celebrating this year's winner of the Vulcan Materials Teaching Excellence and Leadership Award, Dr. J. Lutz.
Congratulations to Bob and to Jay. It's an Oglethorpe custom to have the president of our Student Government Association recognize our golden petrols. This year, it's my pleasure to call on our JEO, one of our JEO award winners, Ty Murphy, to do this honor. It's been a remarkable year working with SGA this year, and Ty's leadership has played a significant role. He is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Biology with minors in Chemistry and Politics. Ty?
I'm honored today to pay tribute to a group of special guests who are seated to my left. On this occasion, we are pleased to induct this special group of alumni into the Golden Petrel Society, Oglethorpe graduates who graced our classroom 50 or more years ago. It has been said that alumni are the keepers of campus traditions and the conscience of the institution. Our Golden Petrels clearly embody our proud Oglethorpe spirit and are exceptional representatives of our great institution. They invoke both our historic roots and our aspirations for the future. As seniors, we look to all the Golden Petrels have accomplished in their lives as we embark upon similar journeys that you began over 50 years ago. We hope that your presence will inspire our senior class to have confidence in what they have learned at Oglethorpe, and they will also strive for excellence in their lives and careers as Oglethorpe graduates have done for over 175 years. We are grateful for your continued involvement in the university, and we are proud of all that you have achieved. Will our Golden Petrels please stand if able to be recognized? Here we are honoring Miss Nancy Fraser English, class of 1956, Bill Foster, class of 1958, Sally Reynolds Butchert, class of 1962, Eula Rogers Ginsburg, class of 1961, Margaret Pleasance Thrasher, class of 1961, Christina Freeman, class of 1958, and specifically from the class of 1966 celebrating their 50th reunion, Miss Carol Moore Atkin, William Garrigan, James Dominy, Henry F. Rodriguez, Roberta Spindler Day, Susan Goodchild Jordan, Teresa Tarrant Tanton, and Carl Bergman. On behalf of the student body and the Oglethorpe National Alumni Association, for your steadfast commitment to Oglethorpe University, we honor each of you today with this bronze medallion engraved with the original Oglethorpe crest. This medallion was created especially for our Golden Petrel members. We hope that you will cherish the Golden Petrel medallion and will wear it proudly at other university functions and future Golden Petrel ceremonies. Thank you very much for all you've done for us, and happy Nurses Week to my mother and all the other nurses out there.
So congratulations to all of you for this significant milestone and for the legacy that you have left for all of us here at Oglethorpe. A traditional feature of Oglethorpe's commencement has been a presentation by members of the senior class. And this year, Alex Atterbury will speak on behalf of the traditional students. He will be followed by Aisha Branson, who will give us insight from the vantage point of the non-traditional student. Alex is president of the senior class, graduating today with a major in biopsychology and a minor in business administration. After graduation, he is moving to Washington, D.C. Good luck. To work for our U.S. Senator Johnny Isakson and the state of Georgia before heading on to graduate school. Alex has been an extraordinary leader on campus, a founding father, president and sergeant at arms for Delta Sigma Phi fraternity, the intra-fraternity council president, an emerging leader mentor, and an orientation leader. He's also a varsity baseball player, serves as a student observer for the Board of Trustees Campus Life Committee, been on the Alumni Board, member of College Republicans, Sigma Alpha Pi Leadership Society, Phi Delta Epsilon Medical Academic Fraternity, and the QEP Accreditation Committee. If that isn't enough, Alex is an entrepreneur, the brand owner of Woe Shades, handmade wooden premium sunglasses, and I think under your seat, no, I don't think so. Alex, will you come to the lectern, please?
Good morning, and welcome to Oglethorpe's 2016 commencement. We're happy that you could all join us on this momentous day. It has been an honor to represent my friends, my classmates, my family, my professors, and my administration over the past year as senior class president. I've had the opportunity to represent one of the best classes Oglethorpe has ever seen. Thank you, class of 2016, for choosing me to represent your thoughts and desires this past year. Thank you, Monica Cota, Catherine Walker, Anwar Abu Shugar, Matthew Roberson for supporting me as class senators. Thank you, Ty Murphy, for leading the Student Government Association as student body president. 4 years ago, we embarked on a journey, an educational journey that formed into much more than just earning a degree. That journey may have looked different for some, perhaps a 3-year journey, perhaps a 5 or 6 year journey, perhaps a night class journey. However, many of us started this journey just 4 short years ago, when we were just freshmen ready to conquer the college arena. Throughout the years here, we have gone from freshmen who think they're on top of the world to cool sophomores who have been there, done that, to the juniors who are just begging for senior year to come, and now to seniors who are begging for freshman year to come back. It seems like it was just yesterday when we were entering our first classroom in either Hearst or Lupton or Goslin. It seems like it was just yesterday when we were moving into Trayer or Dempsey. And for those that remember, it seems like it was just yesterday when we were eating in the makeshift eatery of Conant Theater, long awaiting the opening of the beautiful TLCC. Upon arrival at Oglethorpe University, we as freshmen had to accept the fact that we will continuously be asked one very important question, and that is, what in the world is a stormy petrel? And now, I know all of us have been asked that a million times in I'm sure different ways, but the answer seems quite simple to us now as we have all come to master it over the last 4 years. A stormy petrel is a seabird commonly found on the eastern seaboard that is known for blah, blah, blah. We've all heard that definition. But we know the real answer to that doesn't come from Webster's Dictionary or Wikipedia, but from the students and alumni that have had the privilege to be a stormy petrel. It comes from the experience one has gained within the gates of this little sanctuary off of Peachtree. A stormy petrel is one that combats struggles with interdisciplinary thinking, one that is driven with success or for success with the surrounding community, one that actively learns from failure, one that takes advantage of the opportunities presented to them. Over the past few years, we as students have gone through a lot. Wins and losses, tears, both of joy and sadness, successes and failures, both inside and outside the classroom. We have seen our university grow in students, in organizations, in buildings, and in culture. Our university provides a unique college experience, whether it be the rigorous core curriculum or the abundant opportunities aside from schoolwork. Because of its ability to mold a student in the liberal arts mindset, our university molds leaders. It is rewarding to be part of an institution that champions leaders and encourages leadership. Oglethorpe has taught me that leadership is not the increase of followers, but rather the willing self-sacrifice for those around you. It is the creation of vision and purpose that inspires a legacy of leadership. Our leadership is inspired by those around us, and like any good organization, integrity, intellect, and forward thinking is top-down, from administration to its constituents. This is certainly true for Oglethorpe. Administration, faculty, and staff, thank you for your leadership. Our senior class has left some mighty big shoes to fill for stormy petrels to come, and has raised the standard of excellence for future classes. One way being that we as a class have raised close to $2,000 for the senior gift campaign, in which an outdoor living space will be created to better the Oglethorpe experience. But senior class, I say to you, it's time. Time to pass the torch of leadership to the underclassmen. Time for us to move past our Ogle bubble. We still have challenging days ahead, mountains to climb, obstacles to overcome. We cannot stop striving yet. They won't get easier, life's challenges, but Oglethorpe has equipped us with the right mindset in which to combat life's tests. Our motto as a university is make a life, make a living, make a difference. As graduates and soon-to-be alumni, you have a great commission to do just that. To make a life of your own, to make a living to support your needs and desires, and most importantly, to make a difference in the world. We live in a society where inequality reigns free, where poverty reigns free, where injustice reigns free, where homelessness reigns free, a society crippled with polarizing views and riddled with disunity. So class of 2016, will you be the difference makers we are intended to be? Will you take what you have learned here to disrupt the status quo? Will you be the culture changers this society needs? And as I look around Oglethorpe at Hogwarts, as some would say, it would be a shame not to quote the great author that inspired our school's nickname. J.K. Rowling once made this incredible statement: if you choose to use your status and influence to raise your voice on behalf of those who have no voice, if you choose to identify not only with the powerful, but with the powerless, if you retain the ability to imagine yourself into the lives of those who do not have your advantages, then it will not only be your proud families who celebrate your existence, but thousands and millions of people whose reality you have helped change. We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside of us already. We have the power to imagine better. And as I first read that quote, I thought of a question to ponder, and I encourage you all to ask yourself the same question. How can I use my unique circumstances and individual skills to better others? So class of 2016, go forth, make a life, make a living, and make a difference. Thank you. Now that the inspirational part is over, some of you knew me freshman and sophomore year, and I was no shy of taking a selfie and making the duck face, so of course, I'm gonna take one up here. So please join me and smile big as I open this up and we take a photograph. Alrighty, I think we're ready. Smile big. Yeah. What's up? You getting in? All right. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2016.
Thank you, Alec. I'll be stunned if that picture turns out. Speaking on behalf of our non-traditional students is Shirley Aisha Lopez Branson, graduating today with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies, majoring in history. She was recently named the Adult Degree Program Student of the Year. Aisha was born to Dominican immigrants and raised in New York City. She attended John Jay College of Criminal Justice and Columbia University before moving to Atlanta in 1997. Initially, she planned on attending, I can't say these words, at other university on the other side of the city, but her life took a detour. She met and married her husband David in 2001, and today they are parents to 3 beautiful children whom she homeschools. In 2012, when her youngest was 2 years old, she returned to college to obtain her degree. She plans on applying to the Human Rights Master's Program at the University of Virginia School of Law with the hope of working in the nonprofit sector. Aisha, will you please join me?
Good morning, faculty, students, family, and friends of the 2016 graduating class. I am honored to be here today speaking to you, my academic peers, on this joyful day of celebration. When I was initially asked to address you all, I'm sorry, I might be a little too close, I struggled through a series of overwhelming emotions, starting with shock. The shock quickly turned to fear and finally came to rest comfortably at anxiety. What could I, a middle-aged wife and homeschooling mother of 3, say to dozens of 22-year-olds already streets ahead from where I was at their age? What could I say to inspire focus, perseverance, and fearlessness in so many accomplished young adults who have attained such an impressive milestone at this perfectly appropriate time in their lives? And then I remembered that sprinkled through the audience were those whose lives, like mine, had taken a different path, either because of attitude or circumstance. I realized then that we all have a story to tell, and that these stories are filled with important life lessons, experiences that result in the development of the necessary character traits needed for success. I realized that these stories are simply the inspirational sum of all parts in this journey called life. The inspiration is in the story, and we all have one. I come from a family of educators. I grew up in the shadow of aunts and uncles who valued education above all else. They never gave up on their dreams of achieving academic success, nor let any obstacle get in the way of their goals. They set a very important example for the younger generations of our family, that an education is vital to a life well lived, and is worth every sacrifice. 20 years ago this summer, I was accepted to Columbia University in New York City after a 2-year stint at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. We were all very proud and excited to witness a dream become reality. And for a while, all was going along as planned. Unfortunately, it was not my time yet. I was not mentally, emotionally, or spiritually prepared to achieve such a lofty goal. And within the year, I had left Columbia University for Atlanta and set my life on a different path. The next 15 years were life-altering and exciting. Those years had their fair share of good times and bad ones, of joy and heartache, of bold adventures and exciting change. There were valuable lessons learned, like life is too short not to live it to the fullest, and we are not the sum of our failures, and my favorite, better late than never. It is true that a mind stretched by new experience can never go back to its old dimensions, and during that time there was incredible growth, both emotional and spiritual. And yet through it all, one nagging regret remained. I had not yet fulfilled my dream of achieving a college education. Not to mention, the nagging feeling spoke with the voice of my mother, who never once gave up on seeing me reach the heights I was destined for. So I decided to try this college thing one more time, but this time I would do it right. I worried how exactly I would achieve my goals, being older than the traditional undergraduates, and with so many personal responsibilities at home, day classes were not an option for me. When I discovered Oglethorpe's evening degree program, I knew it would be a perfect fit. With the guidance of my advisors and the support of so many qualified and professional faculty and staff, I was able to soar higher than I ever could have imagined. The wise instruction and guiding patience of the professors allowed me to make mistakes and learn from them. It allowed me to dig deeper as I simultaneously broadened my horizons. Today, 4 years later, I feel quite accomplished. As Chico Javier once said, though nobody can go back and make a new beginning, anyone can start over and make a new ending. I would be remiss not to mention my most important support team, my husband David and my beautiful children Emma, Ava, and William. Without them, none of this would be possible. And of course, my very proud and encouraging mother, who never once doubted what I was and am still capable of achieving. To you, today's graduates, I say, remember this overwhelming feeling of pride surging through you today when the tough times of true adulthood inevitably come along, rearing their ugly and obnoxious heads. When you're told no so many times, you begin to believe the lie that maybe you don't have what it takes, or when your 5-year plan becomes a 10-year plan. When you're ready to give up on your goals and dreams, remember this feeling and decide then and there that quitting is not an option. Never forget what you have accomplished. It was not an easy feat. You did it once, and you can do it again. Hold your head up high, and let that pep in your step carry you on to the next milestone. And finally, to the guests or guests here today who have thought about returning to school to finish their degrees, but might be afraid that their time has passed. Remember, I did it, and so can you. I encourage you to make your dream a reality. I promise you will never regret it. With courage, perseverance, and humor, you can do anything. Congratulations, graduates, and good luck.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Aisha. We are so proud of both of you. And thank you to all the members of the senior class. As Alex mentioned, together you had more than 50% participation in the contributions to the senior gift, and those funds will be very well spent. And now calling the president of the Oglethorpe University National Alumni Association, Chris Rylands, hails from the class of 2001.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw. Good morning, everyone. It is my honor to serve as president of the Alumni Board. On behalf of the 10,000 or so active alumni, it is my distinct privilege to welcome you, the class of 2016, as the newest members of the Oglethorpe University Alumni Association. Congratulations to you, and especially to your families as well. As a graduate, you are automatically a member of our National Alumni Association. You are our ambassador out there in the world. And like an ambassador, wherever you may end up and whatever you may end up doing, you will always have a place to come home to here on this campus, and we hope you will. And in addition to answering the question of what is a stormy petrel, sometimes you might have to answer the question of what is Oglethorpe? And I hope you can give a strong, powerful, influential answer to that question. I hope you also recognize the great contributions of your family, your professors, the staff, the trustees, among many others, as well as those of Oglethorpe alumni who have contributed in various ways to help make our alma mater what it is today. Many alumni have recommended internships to Oglethorpe, served on career panels that you may have attended or as your mentors, interviewed you as prospective students, and given financially, just to name a few. They give in these ways because the bonds of Oglethorpe are strong and they want to make them even stronger. And they will only be made even more stronger by your continued participation in our shared life. So please, do not let the bonds of our alma mater grow weak. Get involved. Join the Young Alumni Club. Connect with the Alumni Association on its various social media channels. Come back for Alumni Weekend and other events either here or wherever you may end up. If your company offers internships, let Oglethorpe know. Stay connected. It is only through all of us deepening our connections with Oglethorpe and with each other, that we can make this university, each of our degrees, and our shared experience the most they can possibly be. With that, I ask all those graduating today who are wearing their class rings to now turn the ring with the university coat of arms facing outward, so that the coat of arms and the university's name are easily seen by all those you meet as evidence of your achievement and your lifelong connection to Oglethorpe University. Again, I congratulate you and thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We will now hear from one of our seniors, Lee Lundy, who will sing for us America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams that see beyond the years, thy alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea.
It's extraordinary. It's this is a blessing to be in community and under such a beautiful cloudless sky and to hear that song. Thank you all for being with us. We now come to a part of the program that is particularly special. I'm going to ask Chris Womack to join me at the podium. As a member of the Board of Directors for the Center for Civil and Human Rights, Chris knows our honoree, his work, and the work of the center well. For more than 25 years, Chris has served the Southern Company and the City of Atlanta, and serves as a member of numerous boards. He and I served together on the East Lake Foundation. He's a member of the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Board. He's chaired the Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau. We are very pleased and honored to have Chris with us today to read the honorary degree citation for Mr. Derek Kayungo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Shaw, thank you very much. Derek Kayungo, compassionate humanitarian, resourceful, and imaginative organizer, you have served the disadvantaged around the world. From here in Atlanta to war-torn Uganda, it has been your mission to ensure that everyone has access to the most basic of human necessities. By founding the Global Soap Project, you and your wife, Sarah, provide evidence that the smallest actions can make the biggest difference in others' lives. Beginning in Atlanta and then across this great country, you encourage hotels to donate leftover bars of soap to be recycled and shipped to impoverished nations. In highlighting the waste that occurs on a monumental level, you found a way to repurpose an inconsequential item in America into one of great significance, the difference between life and death in Africa. Over the years, you have had many mentors, but none with as great as impact as your parents, Tom and Miriam Kayango, and a tireless missionary worker in Kenya, Marge Campbell. Because of their encouragement and confidence in you that you could change the world, you have. Your vision for the world has been implemented in a variety of organizations, including Amnesty International and CARE. You now lead the Center for Civil and Human Rights in its mission to connect the civil rights movement to contemporary global human rights movement. Throughout your life, your work has been recognized and applauded. In 2011, you were named a top 10 hero by CNN for your commitment to activism and being an everyday person who has changed the world. You were awarded the Certificate of Congressional Recognition by Congressman and civil rights activist John Lewis. You have been praised by Nobel Peace Prize laureate Desmond Tutu. And in recognition of your achievements in humanitarianism, I present with the endorsement of the Oglethorpe University faculty and the Board of Trustees, Derek Kayango, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
My God, good morning. What an incredible invitation to join an incredible school. I'm going to do a couple things before I start crying as an African young man, because African boys cry too. I'm told I have 5 hours to give you a fantastic speech. Brevity doesn't matter in the school. You can speak as much as you want, and it's your fault because you invited an African boy to speak to you. It's your fault, Oglethorpe. Distinguished guests, faculty, friends, and my board member, Chris, thank you so much for being here. What's the difference between an accomplished person and an exceptional person? I'm going to tell you a story that delineates what those two things could mean. In 1979, my parents and I had an incredible experience. We had gunshots out of our apartment. My father looked out and saw a soldier holding a gun. And in Swahili, which is an amalgam of Bantu languages and Arabic, this man said the following: "Get out of your apartments right now, get out." My father and I, my parents, walked out of the apartment, and we were hurried up to this little roundabout station. When we got there, we realized something horrible had just happened. They had gathered all our village mates, and with a bullhorn, he had the audacity to say the following words. Last night, 2 of my soldiers were killed, and I'm here to find out who did it. We're going to have a firing squad until you tell us what happened. We were aghast at this particular accusation because in any civilized society, when a crime like that is committed, what do? You investigate, you police the work. He did not do that. So at random, he picked out 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, come up. And as they brought those 4 up, we wondered what was going to happen. He pulled out his pistol and he expired those 4 people immediately. The cacophony that ensued after that, as we wondered what was going on, was immeasurable. He picked up another 4 as he yelled at us, be quiet, be quiet. And as he brought up the other 4, pointing at neighbors, 1, 2, 3, 4, neighbors started to point at each other saying he picked you because they knew what was going to happen. Can you imagine your neighbor picking you out, saying you had committed a crime, knowing very well you're going to be expired? Nevertheless, they brought those 4 up. The next thing we knew, they had been expired. Before you could bring another 4 up, a young man rose up his hand and said he had committed the crime. We knew he was lying because he was a visitor in the village. They brought that young man up. There was a little bit of banter. And the next thing we knew, he had been expired. I was 10 years old at a firing squad. But who was Derek before that? Because I wasn't born on that day. Well, my parents were both teachers. We came out of independence from the British very, very hopeful about Uganda. Uganda is a little beautiful country in East Africa where they grow handsome men like me. And so my parents as teachers realized very quickly they don't get paid very well, so they chose to become entrepreneurs. My mother taught herself how to make gowns, wedding gowns. She became a wedding gown seamstress, and I joke all the time that she didn't have mannequins for little flower girl dresses, so guess who the mannequin was? Me. Which is why I dress better than all of you. You should see my fashion style. It's unbelievable. And I couldn't do it with this gown. I wish we could change the gowns. This is horrible. And we need some color in these gowns. But anyway, she went on to do very well, and my dad became a soap maker. He became a fantastic soap maker, and they did fantastically well. I went to private school. I had a British teacher, and all that good stuff. And then the war began. Idi Amin became the president. He never had an education, 3rd grade education. And most of you have watched him in The Last King of Scotland know Idi Amin. He killed our people and he killed a nation. And so I left to become a refugee in Kenya, where I grew up. If you've never been to Kenya, it's the land of Mufasa. You should go. I was raised there by an American woman from Pittsburgh, Marge Campbell. If you've never seen women from Pittsburgh or met one, you should meet them. They're crazy. The first time I met Marge, she gave me a cup of tea. She said, would you care for a cup of tea, Derek? I said, absolutely. Because you know the British, what do? We drink tea. So she gives me the cup of tea. I take a little sip, and it was cold. She forgot to cook the tea, I thought. So I gave it back to her. She said, what's wrong? I said, I think you forgot to cook the tea. She said, young man, that is American iced tea. By the way, why do American women do that? That is crazy. So the next thing she gave me was cookies. We don't eat cookies. Those of us who are British colonized, we eat what? Biscuits. Do you know what Americans do to biscuits? They give them to their dogs, I found out. Because Americans are contrarian like that. You're always, what is that? When we play soccer, you guys play what? Football. Don't do that. When we play cricket, what do you guys play? Baseball. Why are you contrarian like that? Oh my goodness. But anyway, I then loved Marge, and Marge told me a little bit about Americans, and I fell in love with Americans, and I came to the US to go to school. When I got here, I checked into a hotel in Philadelphia, and in the hotel it was copacetic, beautiful. So in the hotel, I walked into the bathroom, and there were 3 bars of soap: facial soap, body soap, and hand washing soap. What's the difference? Nothing. It's Americans being bougie. Oh my God. What is wrong with you people? But you know, my father made soap, so what did I do? I took the 2 bars, put them in my bag for another day, because I'm broke. I'm African like that. That evening, guess what they did? They brought more soap. I'm African. I took the bars, stole those, put them in my bag. For 3 days, I was stealing soap. How many of you have stolen soap from hotels? A bunch of thieves, not a bunch of educated people. These are a bunch of thieves. So for 3 days, I'm stealing soap. I take the little bus. I realize, you know what? They're going to charge me for it. So I take the little bus downstairs to the concierge. He was an African American. I'd never met African Americans before. If you've never met African Americans, you should meet them. They're crazy. The only African American I knew was Eddie Murphy through the movie Coming to America. Now that's the boy right there. I was dying to say, yo, what's up, man? So I walk up to him and I say, what's up, young man? He said, wait, what's up, young man? I say, I have a secret. He says, what? I said, I've been stealing your soap. What? From housekeeping? I said, no, you keep on bringing me soap and I can't afford it. Take it back to housekeeping. Tell them not to charge me for it. He burst out laughing. He said, are you African? Are you Nigerian? Because we are all Nigerians. We're the ones that send you that email that says, my father just died and left me with $1 billion. Give me your social security number. And don't do that. So I went on and we laughed about it. He said, no, you can take the soap. It's part of the bill. But actually, every American steals soap too, so you're good, brother. So as I walked away, in conclusion, a thought occurred to me. What about the partially used bar of soap? What happens to that? I went back to him, he says, we throw those away. What? We throw those away. American hotels throw away 800 million bars of soap every year. That is 2.6 million bars of soap every single day. So I went back to my room and I started to think about recycling soap because in juxtaposition, we lose 2 million kids every year to diarrheal diseases globally. And I was one of those children that saw mothers needing soap because they were giving birth to a child and the midwives did not have soap or gloves to deliver the child. And they would go into the womb of this woman, deliver the child, and the mother would die in 2 weeks because of childbed fever. And here we were throwing away soap. What makes you an accomplished human being is you observe that particular thing in your life and you walk away from it and just go about doing regular things because you're a regular person and you just accomplish tasks. An exceptional human being looks at that situation and adds up all the things that have happened around them and they determine to go do something about it. I want you to go and do something about it. Make a difference. Three things I leave you with. Number one, Oglethorpe graduates, develop a motto for yourself. Mine is self, service, education, leadership, and having faith in my journey. Have faith in your journey. You don't have to know where you're going, but you have to believe in where you're going. Determine that. Number two, remember, purpose-driven lives are important, but purpose without passion is like having a Bentley with no fuel. And lastly, as you go out to make a life, as you go out to live a life, and as you go out to make a difference in life, remember you will fail at moments, but failure is just a step to success if you are good at understanding what failure means in terms of where you're going. You are the new graduate we're expecting. We are welcoming you to the life of innovation. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Derek, would you do us all a favor? Just stand up. Unzip your robe. So, on behalf of the entire institution, we apologize for these robes. We are ready to begin awarding our degrees and diplomas to students. Dr. Sharfin, will you please come forward to present the candidates? And Chairman Everly, please join me in the presentation of the diplomas to the graduates.
As I call a graduate's name, I may indicate that he or she is graduating cum laude, That means that a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or higher out of 4 has been achieved. Magna cum laude indicates a cumulative grade point average of 3.7 or higher. Summa cum laude, the highest honor, designates a graduate who has achieved a 3.9 out of 4. A select few students are graduating with honors. They have successfully completed our honors program, which includes the writing of a thesis under the direction of a faculty advisor and a defense in front of a faculty committee. I will name each student's honors program faculty advisor, who will come to the platform to hood his or her graduate. Dr. Sarah Terry, director of the honors program, will assist in hooding. So that each candidate's name may be heard clearly, may I ask, please, that you hold all applause until all of the graduates have been awarded their diplomas. And one final logistical note to parents and friends. Our Office of University of Communications has employed a professional photographer to photograph each graduate twice as diplomas are awarded and as each graduate exits the stage. Also, if you'd like, Alex is here with his phone and will also take an unofficial photograph for you. So thank you in advance for your cooperation. Will the candidates for Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Schall, the faculty recommends these outstanding candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the Bachelor of Arts degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies degree please rise? President Schall, the faculty recommends these outstanding candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree please rise? President Schall, the faculty recommends these terrific candidates for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the Bachelor of Business Administration degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please rise? President Schall, the faculty recommends these outstanding candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Charter and the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the Bachelor of Science degree with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Will the first two rows only of candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise and come forward? The remaining candidates should remain seated until instructed otherwise by the marshals. Anwar Mohammed Mustafa Abu Shager. Christopher Joseph Antonio. Caitlin Brianna Ayers. Kylie Ann Berry. Joyati Bomik, cum laude. Lindsay Ray Bollinger, magna cum laude. Cheryl Lindsay Booton, magna cum laude. Haley Rame Bowers. Raven Bradfield. Carolina Isabel Bushman. Celine Isabel Carter. Emily Claire Christian. Amanda Elizabeth Crossan, cum laude. Caitlin Maureen Danahay. Ashley Dawson, magna cum laude. Abigail Rose DeGeorge, cum laude. Samantha Dixon. Deidre Marie Duncan. Mariah Jasmine Emerson. Bailey Teague Evans, magna cum laude. Bradley Flagg. Sophia Ann Freed. Matthew Wallace Gibbons. Alif Gamza Guk, magna cum laude. Jessica Gregerson. Marianne Hafen, magna cum laude. Marianne will be hooded by Dr. Brad Smith. Michael A. Hansen. Amelia Logan Harkleroad, cum laude. Asha Marie Herman. Ricardo Hernandez, cum laude in absentia. Caitlin Hollis.
They say you forgot a hand Hancock.
Eric Nathaniel Hunt, magna cum laude. Lily Ijima. Kara Lynn Ingalls. Deidre Diane Irby. In absentia, Yassine Malik Jalal. Thomas Alexander Jeffries Harrison. In absentia, Charlesy Gabrielle Johnson. Monica Venkata Koda, magna cum laude. Kiana Tanya Lawrence. Jessica Nicole Leandro, cum laude. Victoria Christine Lloyd. Shanice Lover. Janae Bianca Lovett, cum laude. Matthew Lee Lundy. Brittany Eve Marmel, in absentia, Roger Emmanuel Marmel. Patrick Riley McCullough, summa cum laude. Morgan Lynn McGee, magna cum laude. Madison Lee McIntosh. Gregory McKenna. Catherine Agnes Milner. Portia Gaju Mitima. Miguel Montoya, cum laude. Vaughn Alexander Moore, cum laude. Michael David Hancock. Vanetta Deanna Ashanti Norfleet. Rosemarie Parodi. Zaina Michaela Perry. Sunny Alejandra Pimentel Condado, cum laude. Kiera Montrese Powell. And Kiera will be hooded by Dr. Shikande. Jonas T. Pritchard, cum laude. Casey Ray Ragland. Nathaniel Colin Ray, in absentia, Brighton Gray Richardson. Mary Catherine Roberts. Maria Lujan Rodriguez. Elaine Elizabeth Sauger, cum laude. Natalia Mara Schroeder, summa cum laude. Keon Gerard Sims. Dakota Matthew Sneed, magna cum laude. And Dakota will be hooded by Dr. Belcher. Sydney D. Sparks. Claire Elise Stauber. Julia Grace Stein. Emmanuel Suarez Biglieri. Malika Mariah Taylor, magna cum laude. Michelle Tran. Alex Valen, summa cum laude. Tamara Bethany Barnado. Shelby Kathleen Wheeler. Leica Wild, magna cum laude. Christiane Nicole Williams. Shannon Nicole Williams. Derek C. Walter, magna cum laude. Derek will be hooded by Professor Prince Woolley and hugged too. Shiraz Wright Hewlett. Shirley Aisha Lopez Branson, summa cum laude. Vanessa LaShawn Coleman. Lawrence Andrew Detremont, cum laude. Robert Franklin Findley.
Love you, Mom.
Lindsay Ann Grushaw. Dana Elizabeth Harrington. Vivian Fannings Jones, cum laude. Yasmin Eusebia Mejia. Musalu Olatunde Obekekonoro. Jose Rafael Ramos. Alexis Wilby Chrisley. Adrian Ambrose. Elvis Honaid Carranza. Jennifer Dennis Martinez. In absentia, Tony L. Jennings. Thomas Lamb. Kim L. Parek. Tuan Huac Fung. James L. Prince. Yedidia Amaha. Sophia Artakova. Alexander Stephen Atterbury. Aisha Kenise Atwater. Haley Mackenzie Bear. Shamoya K. Bailey. Tiffany Bianca Beckles. Lefriana Alicia Shantae Benson cum laude. Alana Lee Bentley. Emma Elizabeth Bernard. Laura Vanessa Betancourt. Naja Milan Blackwell. Allie Marie Bleckley cum laude. Anna Paula Bravo Garza, magna cum laude. Emily Buck. Lazina Chowdhury. Leonard P. Clark III. Zachariah Ford Cohn. Sarah Emily Craig, cum laude. Margaret Crawford. Jewel Harvey Crowder III. Megan Lee Culberson. Kristen Elizabeth Curry. Savannah Caitlin Davis. Tate Louise Davis, cum laude. Keith John Dearden. Esteban Delgado. Kisgil Kiki Davis D'Souza, in absentia. Martine Cheered Edelman. Angel Alfredo Escobar Chirinos. Austin Fiddler. Ashlyn Emma Foree. Caffrey Colleen Francis. Samuel Jasper Franklin IV, Catherine Gamitro, Precious Tafadzwa Goto, Rosemary Drew Hale, summa cum laude. Matthew W. Hardwick, Sean Heath, Alicia A. Howard, magna cum laude. Casey Jackson Innes, Amber Janice Ivory, Heather Kahn, Eric Joshua Krug. Patrick Kennedy Kulik, cum laude. Caitlin Julie Lambert. Na Tan To Lee. Chelsea Ventura Llewellyn. Uliamar Malani. Joseph B. Marco, cum laude. Tabitha Marie Marodi. Caitlin Allison May. Gary John McGinty, magna cum laude in absentia. Christina Moody, magna cum laude. Katrina Michelle Moody, magna cum laude. John William Morrow, Jr. Caitlin Elizabeth Monroe, magna cum laude. Nicholas Henry Montine, magna cum laude. Tyler Joseph Murphy, magna cum laude. Tyler will be being hooded by Dr. Dan Shadler. Nikki Wynn, Ryan Constantine Nick, Allison Rose Parker, magna cum laude. Melissa Pineda, cum laude. Sarah Taylor Pinkerton, Jaleese Marie Porter, cum laude. Joshua Samuel Pruner, Kyria Unjanina Teshay Redding, Adam Jackson Riddle, Matthew Roberson, Taylor Jordan Roberson, Leah Alexandria Pugh Roll, Cole Anthony Romagera, cum laude. Angel Javier Salome. Alexis Latrice Scott. Emily Marie Silva, magna cum laude. Gagan Deep Singh. Carlos Eduardo Soto Reyes. Justin Michael Thigpen. Alexis Marie Turner. Ajay Valuri. Frank John Vassamini, Jr. Bonnie Mae Wagner. Catherine Kirby Walker, cum laude. Donald Warden. Donald will be hooded by Professor Mike Rulison. Lara Heather Weinblatt. Gabrielle Dominique Williams. Brett Wooten, in absentia, Autumn Marie Yesh. Colin J. Zimmer, cum laude. Yesenia Gonzalez. Let's now recognize and applaud these outstanding graduates.
Where's Alex? You want to join me on stage, Alex? And with the class of 2016, please stand. In 2011, 5 years ago, we established a new tradition with a turn of the tassel, and we will carry it forward again this year. So I'm going to request a drum roll followed by a countdown, and then we'll ask you to move your tassels. You're going to follow Alex as you move your tassels from right to left, so if they're not on the right side, get them over to the right side. And while we are doing that, the rest of us will congratulate you once again. So may we have a drum roll, please? 3, 2, 1. Please be seated. So the members of our faculty and staff provide intellectual guidance and service to our students on a daily basis, and we are so proud of our faculty and staff and grateful to them and our trustees as well. So I'm going to ask our faculty, staff, and trustees to stand and allow yourselves to be recognized. Please be seated. So at the conclusion of our ceremony, our faculty and trustees will recess first to form a receiving line immediately behind you on the sidewalk between Lupton and Hearst. The graduates are asked to proceed to the receiving line and visit with your individual faculty members as you choose, and guests, you are welcome to join them as well. Please linger and enjoy the fellowship on the quad as long as you'd like. We have refreshments that have been set out for you. I'm going to also ask you to notice there are recycling containers, so if we've got bottles and cups, please drop them in the containers as opposed to on the lawn. Dr. Ray and our commencement chorale are going to lead us in the singing of our alma mater. The words are in your program. Please sing heartily. This will be the last chance you have to sing the song until tonight. And please remain standing after the alma mater for the benediction, which will also be sung by the chorale. So would you please now stand for the singing of our alma mater.
at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your field, and until we meet again, may God
Thank you.